Hey, greetings everyone. Glenn Calloway from the basement. It is Wednesday morning as I record and upload this. Beautiful day here. It's like 20 degrees Celsius, like 68 degrees Fahrenheit for our American friends. A few days ago, I did a video, my top 13 American bands. And I want to thank my good friends Robert Hagerman from Robert's on My Turntable and Larry Graves, the Canadian Stud Muffin, for jumping on board and giving their lists. Very good. So if you haven't watched those guys, watch. They both did a great job. Now, Robert got me thinking about something. He included Jimi Hendrix Experience. And I made the comment, well, Jimmy's an American, but two-thirds of the Experience were British. Jimmy really got his notoriety in Britain. Where do you put them? I couldn't figure it out. So here's what I'm doing. Jimmy deserves a spot on a list. There's no doubt. So I'm giving Jimi Hendrix Experience a special award. The GOAT Award goes to Jimi Hendrix. So I'm not going to put him on either of my lists, but he needs to be on both. Okay, so let's get started here. Number 13 is The Pretty Things. Yes, The Pretty Things. Who would have thought they'd make someone's top 13? But I love this band. They're fantastic. So they came out of the whole Stones thing. They were actually in a band with the Stones, and a few members of The Pretty Things had a band before the Stones and The Pretty Things. And if you listen to early Pretty Things stuff, it's exactly like early Stones. As a matter of fact, I think they do it better, except for the songs the Stones composed, obviously. But if you're just talking about old blues covers and stuff like that, Pretty Things were amazing. They evolved into a pretty good band. Like, this album is called Parachute. If you've never heard it, you should check it out. It was, I think, recorded around 1969, Abbey Road Studios. Great harmonies, great songs. It's a great record. It actually sounds a bit Beatle-y in a way, a bit maybe heavier, but fine album. The Pretty Things, my number 13 band. My number 12 band, The Faces. I'm going to show this, the latest release, the box set of BBC recordings. Fantastic set. But The Faces, man. I saw these guys live probably, I don't know how many times they came through Toronto. 4 times, however many times it was. I can't count. I saw them every time they were here. And absolutely, they were great live. Really loose rock, very reminiscent of same kind of loose, kind of raw kind of thing the Stones were doing at some point. And they were damn near equal to the Stones as a live band back then. They were freaking awesome. But The Faces, I love studio albums. A Nod's As Good As a Wink. Ooh La La, great stuff. Awesome. Then Rod went off and thought he was sexy. Well, he asked the question, "Do you think I'm sexy?" I never answered it, but he was kind of sexy. Anyway, that's number 12. Number 11 on my list. A band that I just got into through listening to Bert Jansch, and that was his band Pentangle. Man, I love this band. Folk rock, progressive folk, I don't know what you want to call it. This album's called Sweet Child. Fantastic album. One album is studio, one's live. These guys were amazing. I mean, John Renbourn and Bert Jansch, two of the great frickin' guitar players ever. And wow, what a great record this is. What a great band. I am just crazy about these guys. Absolutely nuts. Pentangle. Where have you been all my life? Number 10 for me is Uriah Heep. Yes, Uriah Heep, number 10. I love this band. My favorite album, Salisbury. But man, you got Demons and Wizards, and you got some people like Magician's Birthday, and I think that's their weakest of the albums from the core band myself. But hey, anyway, fantastic band. And Ken Hensley has some great solo stuff out, too. Number 9 is going to be a band that would not have made my list ever in my life up until this year, and I have just gone nuts for them, is the Peter Gabriel-led Genesis. Oh, man, these guys are frickin' amazing. I fell in love with Genesis through falling in love with Steve Hackett. And however I got there, I eventually got there. Amazing band. Amazing stuff. Genesis. Number 9. Number 8. Another prog band from the Canterbury area. If you've been following my channels the last few years, you know I fell hard for these guys. Caravan. I bought the 36 CD box set. I've got all their studio albums. I mean, just an amazing band. This is a great album and an amazing album cover. In the Land of Grey and Pink. Great record. Okay, number 7 on my list. The Kinks. I think this is my favorite Kinks studio album. Power Man, Lola versus the Money Go Round. Excellent record. Man, this is a good one. Anyway, the Kinks. So many great songs. Waterloo Sunset. One of my top 5 songs of all time. Number 6. Speak of the Devil, the Rolling Stones, and my favorite Stones album, Exile on Main Street. Actually, I think it's tied for number 1 with Beggar's Banquet. Every time I say Exile's my favorite Stones album, I always think, but Beggar's Banquet is so good. I love them both. They're my 2 favorites. Anyway, Exile's great. That's the first time I saw the Stones live, was on that tour in 1972. Number 5 on the list, the mighty Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin. My favorite Zeppelin album, Physical Graffiti. Again, it's almost like a tie with that first debut album, Led Zeppelin. Oh, man. They're both so incredible. Number 4, a band that used to be my number 1 forever and ever, and I never thought anyone would knock them off the pedestal ever, and it happened. The Beatles are number 4 now. I love the Beatles. They changed my life. And every one of them is like a hero to me. But I don't listen to them much anymore. And so they're kind of moving down my list. And I'm kind of basing this on the bands that excite the hell out of me. And speaking of bands that excite the hell out of me, number 3, XTC. And my favorite XTC album, English Settlement. Larry Graves really got me the juices flowing on XTC a couple of years ago when he gave me the Black Sea album to listen to, and I just went, oh, this is freaking amazing. These guys are awesome. Love this stuff. XTC. Number 2 and number 1. King Crimson in the Court of the Crimson King. My favorite album cover. One of my favorite top 4 albums of all time for me. Top 4 band of all time in the whole world, not just in the UK. King Crimson. Man, love these guys. And number 1, another band I did not like in the 70s. At some point had the epiphany and just think they're incredible. Yes. This is the album that really finally got me hooked. After listening to it a few times and going, this is a freaking incredible record. But so many great records. Number 1. That's it, man. That's my top 13 favorite UK bands. I would love if someone would give me their list. I would love it if my friends Robert and Larry jumped on board and anyone else who wanted to. Everyone have a great day. Take care.